Hello everybody, and welcome back to Insider's Guide. This is part B of Loveland's Insider's Guide. If you haven't already, go check out part A first. It's the top link in the description. You'll need some of the things I said in that video to understand a lot of the things I say in this video. Today, we'll talk about the mid-mountain trio of lifts, that being Chair 6, Ptarmigan, and Chair 4. With that, let's begin part 5B of an Insider's Guide to Ski Resorts, which is Loveland Edition. We'll pick up right where we left off with Chair 6. It was discussed in Part A that Chair 6 is difficult, but not impossible to get to from Chair 2. Chair 6 has arguably the best beginner to low intermediate terrain pod in all of Loveland. It has everything, from nice meadows, to groomers, to trees, to even terrain parks. To the left of the top of Chair 6 is the run Dealer's Choice. It is a fun little jaunt through the trees. However, it does run out to Forest Meadow, which is a bit of a flat section. If you come out of Dealer's Choice with enough speed, you can get through Forest Meadow just fine. If you remember from Part A, acceleration gets you to the mid-mountain lifts. It gets you there via Forest Meadow as well. If you're coming from Chet's Dream and going on acceleration, get as much speed as you can at the bottom of acceleration. I know it's a mogul run, so it's difficult to build up speed on it, but even just some speed should do to get you through the meadow. These three runs, Keno, Blackjack, and Roulette, are very nice mild blue groomers. They are also very underutilized, so there is often a time in which one will go down one of these with not a soul in sight. These are great runs to lap any time of day. On the right side of Chair 6 are three runs. There are the two terrain parks, Straight Flush and Royal Flush, known collectively as the Flushes. Of course, Loveland's no terrain park mountain like Copper or Winter Park, so don't expect anything too crazy. For the most part, the Flushes have small rails and boxes. And of course, the other run is the green run, Deuce's Wild. Deuce's Wild brings you out to a meadow of sorts from where you can pick and choose your route. It is a great beginner run at a great beginner mountain. From any of the runs in the Chair 6 pod, you can access any of the mid-mountain trio, or ski back to the lifts at the base. The second lift of the mid-mountain trio is Ptarmigan. Ptarmigan ends above treeline, giving access to these two bowls. Off the left of the Ptarmigan is Bennett's Bowl. Bennett's Bowl is a nice, mild, open area. A recurring thing that you'll hear as we start to discuss more of this above treeline terrain is that it's a great place to be able to find some untouched powder. Bennett's Bowl drops you back to the mid-mountain lifts. Off the right of Ptarmigan is the Fire Bowl. If you want to access any of this stuff under Ptarmigan here, you must take Fire Bowl. Bennett's Bowl takes you back to South Turtle Creek, here. You can't access any of these blues from Bennett's Bowl. Fire Bowl is similar to Bennett's Bowl, being a wide open area. It is even milder than Bennett's Bowl, making it another favorite of beginners at Loveland. Because it is so wide open, you can make wide turns, traversing all the way across the meadow. These runs on the skiers left of Fire Bowl, South Chutes, and Tomahawk, are rated as blues. However, they are steep and get moguls. They definitely seem more like a single black than a blue. South Chutes and Tomahawk get you to Creek Trail, from which you can access Lift 9, here. Just below 9, here, Creek Trail splits. If you go right, you will go across a little road that will take you back to Ptarmigan. If you go left, you'll follow Creek Trail back to Chair 4, or to the base. You cannot get to Chair 6 from Creek Trail. This blue run, Poma Line, is a narrow little alley through the trees. It is a straight line, as it is where a Poma lift once ran, hence the name. It is left ungroomed, so it's a fun little bumpy run. Fire Cut is one of the most popular runs accessed from Ptarmigan. It is a really wide blue groomer. Typically, the skiers left of the trail will have some moguls. Drifter is also a blue groomer. It has a super mellow slope, making it one of the easiest blues at Loveland. If you keep going across, you'll end up at Turtle Creek. Drifter ends at Turtle Creek. You can access Chair 6 from Turtle Creek or Drifter. Fire Cut and Poma Line both drop you back at Ptarmigan, from which you can also ski down to Chair 4. You cannot access Chair 6 from Fire Cut or Poma Line. The third lift of the mid-mountain trio is Chair 4. Chair 4 primarily serves blue runs. Chair 4 has this mid-station for unloading. The mid-station is primarily used to get on Zip Trail to go over to Chair 8. Zip Trail is a catwalk, but has a decent enough grade that you don't have to push much. Off of Zip Trail, you can access these two blacks, Splashdown and Sunburst Chutes. Splashdown is a short little mogul run. Sunburst Chutes is left ungroomed, but typically doesn't get too crazy of moguls. From Sunburst Chutes, you can also access the West Ropes Glade. All of these bring you back to Chair 4. Chair 4 starts lower than Ptarmigan or Chair 6, so if I say that a run brings you back to Chair 4, it is assumed that it is impossible to access either of the two mid-mountain lifts from it. You can always just ski back to the base and use either of the base lifts to access the other mid-mountain lifts. Going the opposite direction of Zip Trail is Zippity Split. It comes from Chair 8, so I'll talk more about it in Part C. From the mid-station of Chair 4, you can traverse across scrub here and find Zippity Split in the woods. It can be hard to find. Zippity Split is not cut across scrub here, so you'll have to traverse across and just hope that you didn't go too far down. If you do find Zippity Split, you can access Chair 9. This little section of Zippity Split is a little single track where you can't really turn or stop, so you just kinda have to YOLO it and go. It will take you to Chair 9. However, to avoid this awful little section of Zippity Split, I would highly suggest riding all the way up on Chair 4 to access Chair 9. In summary, it's really annoying and difficult to get to Chair 9 from the mid-station of Chair 4. The only green served by Chair 4 is Failsafe. It is a catwalk. If you're a beginner skier, I would highly suggest lapping other areas. Failsafe is not a run, it is a road. From Failsafe, you can access the Failsafe trees, which is another glade. These drop you onto Creek Trail, below the cutoff for Ptarmigan. And then, there's Scrub. Scrub is similar to Firecut. It is a really wide blue groomer that all of the above blues flow into. Scrub drops you back at Chair 4. And now, we get to discuss the stuff from the top of Chair 4. Above the mid-station, the lift goes over the tundra, as it's called, where the terrain is very exposed and windswept. Oftentimes, you'll see a bunch of patches of scrub brush and some rock outcroppings where the snow has been blown off. This is a theme for the upper section of Chair 8 and all of Chair 9 as well. In these exposed areas, there are not as many marked runs as just open tundra in which your route is dictated by the obstacles, not where a run goes. A lot of times, your route is dictated simply by where there is and isn't snow. The run Telestar here is groomed, so it is possible to find and follow Telestar. The run Sunburst Bowl, Perfect Bowl, and Mercury are different stories, however. For Sunburst Bowl, Perfect Bowl, and Mercury, you just have to pick out your own route. This type of terrain is a lot different from skiing at other ski areas. The run Apollo is a bit of a road, so you can actually follow it. If you're attempting to get to Chair 9, I would highly recommend going all the way up on Chair 4 and then going down Apollo. Off of the Apollo and Mercury area, you can also access the North Chutes. The North Chutes are the same story as the South Chutes in that they can be steep and moguled. I personally would rate both the North and South Chutes as single black runs. North Chutes and Apollo both run out to Creek Trail, from which you can go to Chair 9 or ski down to the Split to go to either Ptarmigan or Lift 4. Well, that's about it for the Mid-Mountain Trio. Go watch Part C right after this, where we'll finish talking about Loveland Basin. Thank you all so much for watching. Please leave any questions down below. All my love, I'm out.